Good morning, YouTube. Like to first give thanks to my Father in heaven, Yah, for appointing me to this ordeal that I'm facing. And I'm facing this in honor to answer some of the prayers like mine that went up. Now, this morning I've been on TikTok twice. No, maybe three times. I'm not sure. But the Spirit is moving with me and in me. See, I've told TikTok today, so I'm letting you know on YouTube. I'm now doing another course of action. I'm tired of trying to get the politicians in Boston to acknowledge this kind of abuse against the elders, against the disabled, against families out here, against the homeless. I'm being a voice for them. And I'm also being an example of how to stand up and fight for yourself and your dignity and your respect. Now, I should have brought that letter in here. If you hold on for a minute, let me go get that letter. I posted it on my YouTube, but I'm going to make sure y'all get the full extent. Not over here. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to attach that letter that they used against me. The lawyer that I thought I had called me back and let me know that they would not be able to handle my case. Okay. There's hands involved in this that are hindering any lawyers from taking this case, and I have proven it. Okay. And the reason why, because see, there's always a motive behind something. And the reason why I'm not able to get justice. So this is going to be justice for Beverly McLeod. And anybody that's going through a similar situation that lives with Peabody Properties or the community builders as their management company have experienced anything what I have, and they have gone to court and discredit you to get you thrown out in the street, join me in putting a stop to it. I have the means and the evidence to expose them for who they are. Today, I'm going to be acting and representing myself as my own lawyer. Okay. I don't need them as long as I got God. Okay. Point blank. So, since I've been asking these politicians, the mayor, the governor, the senators, the legislator, to do something to protect my civil rights, it's not mine, it's for everybody that's going through this. If y'all haven't noticed, Massachusetts has been on the wire here regarding the immigration status. It's been drawn to the attention by another gentleman. What Elizabeth Warren is doing, the governor of Massachusetts supplying and building her own motels off of government money or the charitable money to house these people. So if you're an American citizen, military, whoever, and you're on a housing list, you have now been bumped because they have a flaw that says emergency shelter, homeless people come first. They got miles of homeless people here in Boston. They can't get in housing. And the military can't pay for one-on-one hotel stays that they've been living off because they don't have housing. So they pay for a motel room. They've all been taken away from them and given to the refugees people protection. And they're making money off of them because they're saying the homeless situation in Massachusetts is declining. Look how many houses we got for people. But it's not for the American citizens. Okay. Now, I've reached out to Donald Trump, President Trump, and I'm reaching out to the Republicans in the United States. See, because the Democrats are easy to point a finger at them, saying what they don't do for the people and what they, whatever. But the Democrats in Massachusetts are aiding a criminal organization. I can say this. I'm representing myself. I'm a lawyer of myself. Therefore, who's ever made these accusations and these threats and this defamation of character, the slander and the lies, today are going to be put on notice. I'm using my platform on YouTube. I'm using my platform on TikTok. I'm going to be sharing this on my Facebook and my Instagram and WhatsApp app. Okay. Today, I'm making phone calls. I'm calling the modern pest control people that didn't inform the property management to dry my cells off and remove those dead bugs before they place my items back. I want to know whose names and whatever that this communication didn't take place. They cannot deny me this information because I'm representing myself. Because I cannot get a lawyer to bring these information up and have the opportunity and the right to confront my, what do you call it? I have a right to know who's doing this, who's persecuting my character, who is stereotyping me and putting in writing their description of what a Black woman is. They said my house is so filthy that they can't even come in here and perform the maintenance duties. And the exterminator can't come in there and exterminate because my kitchen is so nasty. It's unsanitary. Knowing goddamn well I have a homemaker that comes in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because of my shoulder thing. So I gotta call this as a lawyer, this cleaning company. I'm gonna make these phone calls and I'm gonna let them know that it's being recorded on my YouTube and my TikTok. That I'm representing myself as a lawyer. Therefore, I need as my evidence to know who has done this. My first objective is for Bill, what's his name? Brad Miller, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Anyway, I'm going to show you who the owners, I'm going to see if I can get their pictures again. Because these people, the owners, are responsible for allowing their employees to racially discriminate and harass. They have to have the okay to do this from somebody. And the buck stops at the top. Therefore, I'm going to be calling them today as well. See, I've got companies in my mind I'm going to call this morning. I'm going to call the Central Boston Elderly Service and find out who is the company of the homemakers that are coming in. And I'm going to read to them what's on this letter. And I'm going to ask them if there's anything that you can dispute that your company is doing the job that they're supposed to do and not leaving my home in that condition where it's unsanitary. You see where I'm going with this, YouTube? It's time for it to be transparent. So, and then like I said, I'm calling the cleaner company and I'm calling the exterminator company. Because I've been told through this letter that somewhere in the complaint that you all cannot come in and do your job on time at 10 o'clock when you're supposed to be here because my kitchen is so nasty, and that you are in this complaint that they named the pest control as part of this problem why they can't perform their job. So as the representative of myself as being my own lawyer, I want to know who is responsible for backing up this nasty accusation, because I want their names to be held accountable by law for slander, for lies, for defamation of character, and stereotyping me, and putting this in as evidence to take to court. I want some evidence that this was said and who said it, and if it wasn't said, then I want a documentation given to me in my email that they do not uphold anything that this lawyer has said to me. See, I don't need a lawyer. I'm my own lawyer. I've been doing this from the beginning by myself. No, not by myself. When I say as myself, it's the physical person. But this is a spiritual battle. Okay. I've lost toes behind this. Yes, I've lost 5 toes. After the warning that my health cannot get better under these kind of conditions and this harassment, they were warned. And when the bug people started coming in, I said, I'm getting into my PTSD. I'm getting into my oppression again because what they did before, they're doing it again. But I'm not emotionally struck by it because it's ignorance. It's malice. It's beyond malice. That somebody got this, think they got this power to label a Black woman as a filthy person that's got disabilities that they've caused and say my house is in this condition. I done went through and showed y'all what my house looked like. If I was able to keep this cord in here and I turn this thing around and show you my kitchen now, but I ain't got to go through that extreme. The truth does not need defending. My videos were made that contradicts everything that they said. You all know that they ain't been coming here doing no extermination, but according to this letter, they've been here on time. And the minute that 9 o'clock, they said, I'm on the phone screaming and hollering about why they ain't here. And they were doing the no-show. If they think I'm going to let them get away with this, they got another thing coming. Since a lawyer in Massachusetts won't defend me, if there is a lawyer out there that can take on this case, I'm suing for $150 million just for my foot alone. Everything I got is got an evidence. They were warned by the doctors that my health cannot improve. My diabetes, none of that. Unless I'm out of this harassment. It's even documented with Boston Housing Authority that this place is not safe for me mentally or physically. And the physical aspect of this, I have now lost 5 toes. And I'm hanging on to my foot. And they're threatening me if I don't stop recording and putting their name out here, whether they're in my house or not, that they're going to go to court and take that slanderous letter and get me thrown out of my apartment. And they're warning me that when that happens, I won't be able to get housing anywhere in Massachusetts. That's a threat. That's an intimidation. That's a breach of me speaking out of free speech. They're denying me my channels by saying, keep it up. We're going to do this to you. You all are my defense. This is the movement, Justice for Beverly McLeod. And if you have anybody in your family that's experienced this, notify the governor and the mayor and the senators of Massachusetts. Ask them why they aren't doing justice for me, because justice for me means justice for everybody else that they're doing this to. See, this is not just a lawsuit on what they've done, but if anybody else join me in this lawsuit and bring these people down, because they are not giving these nice charitable billionaires of funding the housing issue for the homeless and everyone else in Massachusetts. And they're taking that money and they're giving it to these asylum seekers, and they're housing them and they're giving them $3,000 a month. And these politicians know they're getting 70%. See, there's a motive behind everything. They're getting 70% of income from these people, community builders, Peabody Properties, and they're not letting people go back to work in these office buildings because the state of Massachusetts is loaning them out to people and companies to set up, to house these people in, these illegal immigrants in. So I'm also reaching out to Donald Trump, the president, and I'm reaching out to the Republicans in the White House. Because, see, the Democrats are always pointing a finger at them. They're getting funded from these billionaires to make sure they correct the housing. Now, here it is. Here's how they're doing it. They're letting these billionaires know that their money is being well spent because the housing situation is dropping. The homeless housing situation is dropping in Massachusetts. So your funding and your care is working. No, it's not. Because they done kicked everybody that's waiting on the waiting list off because they have to house the homeless first. That's the priority. That's a loophole in the law in Massachusetts. So this is something you Republicans need to jump on. Because these money that these billionaires in the federal government that y'all sending into aid the Americans with their homeless situation and to keep from being evicted. People being evicted left and right now, and they got the money. The states and the billionaires to keep people in their homes, and people being turned out in the street now to homeless immigrants. And that's why they piling up in these sanctuary states because they get priority over us. When I say us, if you're white and you're poor and you're on any kind of assistance, whether it's disability, Social Security, SSI, or whatever, you're no longer a priority. You're disabled. You no longer military. You no longer have the privilege and the rights to housing because they're giving it to the non-legals here. So Congress, you Democrats in Congress need to find out why this money is being mismanaged and why these people that is collecting these billionaires, now they done made billions off of state funding, and these billionaires have poured billions into their pockets. And the Massachusetts commissioners, state elected officials, including the police, are protecting them from getting any bad reports. That whole letter, I'm expose it to you, is told me to stop recording. If y'all give me a minute, let me go get that letter. Because this is so important. Let me run in here and get it. Hold on, y'all. I thought I had it in there, but it's not in there. I put this letter somewhere and want it to be within my reach so that I can share this with you. Now, let me go ahead because I'm going to show you something in the past that they did. And they're repeating it again today. See, I want to be transparent with everybody. Y'all excuse my shirt in your face. Okay, now, this is what happened when I reported that people weren't wearing their mask. I don't know if y'all can see this letter. Okay, but I want y'all to read this and see who this letter is coming from. Not only am I going to put a cease and desist, I'm going to send that to these lawyers too. Because they're sending me this based on no evidence at all. And because they figured they could throw some shit on the wall that's going to stick and they're going to use it against me. I'm going to show you, this is the letter that was more important to the Adult Protection Agency. Now, I want y'all to listen to this letter. Okay. The lighting is good. Okay. Demand to cease and desist. Okay. As you are aware, this office represents the owner of the property located at Okay, you've seen the address. I'm not going to verbally say it because it's in a letter. And it says property. It says, we have been advised. Now, the new letter I got it says just like this. It's formatted like this. Okay. We have been advised that you contacted the Inspectional Service Department of the City of Boston and reported that management, hold on, y'all, was trying to kill you. Was trying to kill you. Okay. This is a serious allegation, and it is not taken lightly. If a cleaning person did not wear a mask, that does not an attempt to cause such a result, and it is wholly improper to make such an allegation in a public forum. Your efforts in impunge management are malice and have no basis in fact. This is the letter that the police told me I could not file an harassment charge, defamation of character charge, and a threat. I told them I took this as a threat. God, I did not say this. But the detective, Michael, whatever his name is, he's on the police report, said it was legal for them to do this. Said, they can do that. They do it to me all the time. This is not a case. So they refused to do the police report. I'm going to go ahead and finish this letter. This correspondence shall constitute formal and final demand that you ease and desist from making false claims against management or otherwise slandering and labeling, hold on there, I lost my place, labeling same, while you are welcome to contact the city or other third parties, this word is important, further such statements should be avoided and will not be tolerated. That's a threat. This is telling me not to report anything else to a third party. Because they can say a comment like this and say, I said it, and go to the courts. Anytime you're involved in the court to go after somebody with lies, this can only fall back on the owner of this company. See, I was trying to blame the management companies, but somebody had to get the okay in order to authorize their lawyers to send me something like this. Somebody had to say that I said that. Now, I called the lawyer's office a couple of days ago asking them, because I went down to the office very nicely, very politely. Now, they got cameras down there. And I asked them who was saying this, because I have a right to know who my accusers are. They told me, call the lawyer. Call the lawyer. So they can't give me their employees' names now to get to the bottom of this without going through their legal department. See, I'm supposed to be able to go to management and get this request from management. They're supposed to provide the names of my accusers, but they're in denial of it, and they won't let me file my accusers. Okay, so what happened that day? Here's another letter. Let me show you this one. I went down to the office after I called the inspector, and I have my letter from the inspector because she told me to write a rebuttal. She said a report came in that people weren't wearing their mask. And when I read that letter to her, she said, hold on, Miss McLeod. She said, let me talk to the inspector. We're going to get back on the phone, and we're going to do a three-way. So now I'm going to have to contact this person again. This is why I tell you it's important to keep your letters and your things. Don't throw nothing away. And she told me to write the rebuttal. She gave me her name, her number, her information, and the docket number of the complaint. The complaint, as it came in, as it was said nothing that said Peabody Properties was trying to kill me. She said, Mrs. McLeod, we're professionals. We don't even give the names of people that do the report. You need to ask them how come they came at you and claim that you are the one who made the call, because they didn't get this information from us. So after I wrote that rebuttal, they sent me another letter. And this letter was dated October 7th of 2020. This one right here, after I wrote the rebuttal, the first one was done September 16th of 2020. This is the second letter, lawyer letter. Okay. This is the second one. This one accused me of being an angry Black woman, going down to the office. See, my son was out in the hallway listening. And after getting this letter and we read it together, he said, Ma, if I hadn't been there myself, I wouldn't have believed it. Now, here's the second accusation. Defamation of character, and they stereotyped me in this letter. Okay. They made me the angry Black woman. See, this is how they see us. Filthy, unsanitary, and then the angry Black woman. That's racist. This is racist. All right. Okay. As you are aware, this office represents the owner of the property located at. So if it's the owner that's doing this, then it ain't the politicians anymore. I got to ask for my defense in this and helping me go to court to air this garbage out. So therefore, I'm no longer going after the property management. I'm going after the owner. And I'm going to press charges against the owner. That's why I want y'all to go live with me. I'm going live with this every step of the way. I'm going TikTok today. I'm going live with this. Every move I make today, I'm putting it on camera, regardless of the threat that they gave me that's violating my constitutional right to free speech. Here we go, letter number 2. Okay. As you are aware, I ain't got to go into that. As you know, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, y'all gonna laugh at this, the managed office has been closed. Then why did they send me this with this accusation if their office is closed? See, they can do it and come at me during COVID and accuse me of this. So when I go down to give them a rebuttal, this is what they threaten me with. The office has been closed, and there is a clear sign on the door notice this. Despite this, on October 2nd, this is what, September the 16th. So October 2nd, of 2020, Beverly McLeod entered the office and began yelling and shouting at the staff. Who said that? They got cameras. My son and I got witnesses. But it's my word against theirs, and they already know Black people don't have a word, because once corporate comes in and defends these people that's setting up these luxury buildings, I'm just a low-life, state-funded person that's trying to get a dollar from them. And Your Honor, they have been, this is kind of, this person has come in yelling and screaming at us, and this, trying to defamate. This is defamation of character, because they got away with it the first time, and I suffered, and I got missing toes behind this kind of abuse. Okay, let me finish this letter for you all. I hope the Congress is listening to this. This is a big story, y'all. This needs to go viral, and it needs to go wide, because I'm exposing these owner for the treacherous company he's getting funded government money and charitable donations for, how they're abusing their position and their authority to not give you the same rights and privileges as everybody else, to have peace and serenity and be safe in their home. They're denying me this right by threats. They're telling me to keep my mouth shut, and then now they're telling me that they're going to say all this nasty shit about my home. And the basis that they're going to do this is because I recorded on YouTube them being in my house, which is my legal rights. And I need to desist. Because they told me what they planned for me to have my ass thrown out in the street. And they said, we don't need a cause to have you put out. They invented their own cause. So whether everything on the record is clear and good, the fact that they labeled me and described me as a filthy, unsanitary person in the condition of my kitchen. I got a cleaning lady Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Before they even get here on the Wednesday, they're supposed to be here. So I guess the agency is allowing their worker to come in every week and walk out with my house in that condition. So I got to get a lot of people involved with this. But let me go ahead with this letter. Okay. It says, this behavior not only violates the foregoing policy, but it has also interfered with the ability of management to manage the property in a clearly impressionable. Based on the foregoing of this letter shall constitute formal notice that, effective this date, you are to cease all communication with the staff other than in writing or by telephone in the event of an emergency. You are also not to enter the management office at any time unless you are specifically invited in writing, and are then to avoid the creation of any disruption. You are also to refrain from further contact with interferes with the quiet enjoyment of any resident. Now, they're now not only claiming that I disrupted their office, but because I went down in the office, I'm also disrupting the enjoyment of the other residents in the building. They think they got this kind of power to send this to me. So therefore, they labeled me the angry Black woman. I came in there yelling and screaming. Everybody knows me, knows that's not my behavior and that's not my character. The lies people tell on you, and the gall and the audacity to think they got the privilege and the right to do this. See, these lawyers are in trouble too. The bar should disband these lawyers, because what proof did they have to say I said this? What proof did they have that they can come in my house and take pictures? And they should have took some pictures. If my house was in that condition, then not just hearsay stands up in court. They need to have some proof and evidence, which I have, because I sat here on the days that they're supposed to show up and said, it's such a time, they're still not here, da, 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 da. And y'all are my witnesses. Thousands of you all who sat there and shared this with me know that they did no show. But according to that letter, they said they were here every scheduled appointment for extermination, and that they were on time. And I was yelling at them because they were a second after 9 o'clock. And they said that I had to yell and scream at them when by 10 o'clock, by the time the exterminator came, yelling and screaming at them, no, you're going to clean this up. Is that how they view Black people? And you know, the women that's reporting this, Khadisha, she's Black. She's supposed to be my advocate. And I can't think of the other lady downstairs, but these people want names. Who said this? The office people won't tell me. Take go to the lawyers. I call the lawyers ain't call me back. So I'm going to make an attempt today when 9 o'clock hits, or roughly around then, because my other phone is charging. I'm going to do a YouTube and a TikTok video together. I'm going to reach out to these companies I named, and I'm going to let them know I'm a lawyer representing myself. I expect the same information given to a lawyer given to me, so I can hold up my defense in court against this slander. And therefore, if you do not say that you are part of this and send me information saying that you did not agree with what was written and what was said, then I'm saying that you agree with what was written here. And then I'm putting your company out here as part of this conspiracy. See, when it comes to people losing their jobs and companies reputation being stored, then the truth will come out, because they don't want this kind of garbage and their reputation to be under this kind of filth. See, my mother didn't raise no fool. My mother taught me to fight for what's right and stand up for yourself. As a Black woman, I've had to do this, and all of us had to do this and face shit like this all of our lives. And because the world and America does not take heed to this shit, it's given them a license to have my toes amputated by not protecting me. Now, the protection agency I talked to, I'm still waiting for them to call me back, because I had to do another protection agency with that new letter they sent me. But this letter right here, she wanted, because she picked up on the threats and harassment. And this is so important to y'all. When she took this letter, she didn't read the one about the angry Black woman. But I told her about it, that they sent me one immediately after I sent my rebuttal. And I sent my rebuttal is dated October the 1st. And that's why they sent me this on the 2nd, because I went down to the office to get a copy of my rebuttal that the lady at Mass Tenton said. They are the inspection company that they come out and investigate any complaint that the landlords don't fix. And then they come in with a notice and a warning. You get this repaired right now. We're going to come back and check and see if it's been done. If not, they get their funds suspended until they come and do the repair. Then the state picks up their portion of the subsidy. Okay, I'm a very intelligent woman, as y'all can see. I've been raised by a line of strong business women, as you can see. I was in my mother's shop from the age of 13 on to about 17, learning and watching how my mother handled her business, because she shared information with me about public. But she also installed in her family dignity, respect of authority, treat people like you want to be treated, don't mock people unless you walk the mile in their shoes. I could go on and on and on and on. We got that instead of the ass whooping. We got the Lexus. But she said, never let anyone do this to you and get away with it. My mother's no longer with me now, but I'm going to honor her and her teaching and her words by standing up, not for myself, but for others that they've done this to. I got all the evidence that they need to join me in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the state of Massachusetts for allowing this kind of hatred, this funded people funding and gathering and making billions of dollars now, telling these and lying to these people these billionaires, these hot-giving, warm-giving people, whether they're getting a tax break on it or not to make sure we get housing, the money's not going to where it's supposed to go. It's going towards, like this guy said, the governors. She's building motels to house the refugees, the houses that the homeless is supposed to go to. See, they have override. I don't see how they can override homeless people out there because they're a priority too. How come they're still out in the street and these illegal residents are here picking up permanent, matter of fact, permanent residency? Where's ICE? ICE needs to go in here. Trump needs to send the motherfuckers in this state for those reasons alone. They are justified in coming in now and tearing down this money-making opportunity to seek and soak out charitable people donation and fraudulently give them updates to say, look, the housing situation, the homeless is going down. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. They're going down because they're housing refugees, non-residential people, but the people that need the housing, the families and children and everything that's waiting to get into subsidy housing are still staying in shelters. Because the immigrants that are coming here illegally can't stay in the shelter. They have to put them in a place where they get immediate housing. They should have left me alone. They should have not kept harassing me. Because now it's cost me my foot. And why are the lawyers here in Boston scared of them? Why is the police hiding them? Protecting them from you filing police reports? Why the governor won't get involved? She was in charge of, she was the attorney general. She was in charge of the Department of Commission of the Commission of the Discrimination. She was in charge of them, and also under her office as Attorney General, Marty Haley. She had the commission of the place against discrimination. You could do any application. I put 5 of them in there. None of them never got answered, and nobody in that office ever answered. I ain't got to lie on her. The proof is in the records. If they go through the Attorney General office, go through my records, they see the amount of applications I filled out. And then the records will show that nobody responded to me. I used my common sense. I might not always comment on it at the time it happens. My quietness is that I'm storing up. See, as long as I ain't, they ain't getting that from me. I'm not handing you that because I'm not that person. And you're not going to make me put myself in a label that you can use your stereotype. They're stereotyping me. They're saying the court is going to believe this garbage that we put down here about you, and you're going to be thrown out in the street. You're not going to be able to apply for housing anymore. That's a gullible, very gullible entitlement that they figured they got. Because they're bringing money in Massachusetts. And as long as they're picking up 70% of Massachusetts revenue, who's struggling now with money because they're pouring it into the illegal immigrants. And I think that this is entertainment purposes, if this is true. The federal government needs to step in. And this is right up Trump's alley. Trump needs to be the president and be the elect for this, to go in after these Democrats. Because they done fired so much, especially Elizabeth Warren now, has extended so much against the Republicans. I said in my old video, this is the Jim Crow state. And I also said Massachusetts is under camouflage of a Democratic state, and it's really a Republican. Do you need any more proof than what I'm telling you? Do you need any more proof? Money talks, and your life walks. We're being sold on a block to the highest bidder, and they're getting the hands greased to keep us quiet. Anytime a company can threaten a person over and over again like this and feel that they're safe, that the courthouse is going to uphold their garbage, and the mayor and the governor and the senators of Massachusetts are not protecting the citizens under the Democratic flag. So if you get this message, pass it on, and pass it on to Washington, D.C., and get these Democrats accountable for the Democrats in Massachusetts. See, the mayor should have paid attention to this case. The longer I kept quiet and them not doing anything to protect me has given me more ammo to come and speak the truth and get this shit taken care of. So beware, I'm going live today. It's still early in the morning. I'm getting my platform ready because the owner is responsible for the damages. They're responsible for my PTSD. They're responsible for the racial harassment. They're responsible for the intimidation and the threats and the racial profiling. These are all the charges I'm bringing up based on their own letterheads and their own threats that they sent to me and their own lies that they told that they can put in writing and say we can use this against you. So that means I'm nothing, right? Is that their opinion of me? That they got me in this kind of box that says you ain't got no rights. And Massachusetts is not honoring my rights. These politicians, these state-elected politicians, including law enforcement, that you Democrats voted in here. You understand me? You Democrats voted this state in Massachusetts, which technically should be a red state. The Republicans need to come in here and clean this shit up from the Democrats here and flip this state around because they're collecting funds on your behalf and using our situations that we're in to improve our lives. It's not being given to us. And they're telling us we're ungrateful because we're not sympathetic to the cause that they're doing. Oh, how they playing on my sympathy. Oh, how they playing. When I got to go by people hanging out in the street with no tents during the weather, cold, they won't even house them. Where's my heart? Where is their heart for the disabled, for the veterans, for the crippled, for the mentally impaired, for the housing of families? Where is their concern for us? They're getting paid that money to be that concerned for us, and they're giving it away. They should have never got me started. They should have never got me started. They should have treated me like a human being. They should have protected me, and they should have given me respect as a person. When I told them I wasn't going anywhere, I meant that. This cause is called the Justice for Beverly McLeod. When you send the mayor and governor a note, I'm asking y'all to do this. Under that, where is the Justice for Beverly McLeod? Write to the governor and just go to their email and put that down in their email. I want y'all to bombard them with this message because this needs to be global news. They won't let the media talk about this shit here in Boston because it's going to affect their income. It's going to affect the money that they're getting. The 70% revenue that they're getting from these motherfuckers. They're giving them the okay to abuse you as an American citizen. These are brown people doing this. You know, if they were PT people, they know better than to do this shit. But these other people don't know better. See, they and their company are not confident enough to lie on you like this. And this is God's grace. I could say this about them. YT people, thank you for not stooping down to this level. Thank you all for not stooping down to this level. All my life, I have never known you all under any kind of housing situation to label somebody and say they're this. They're saying they got the okay to lie on you. YT people, they come up with evidence. They say, yes, on this day that ahead, we observed her, we seen her do this, we documented this, we documented that, we documented this, we documented that. They have no documentation other than word of mouth, which is illegal. Hearsay is illegal. So therefore, this is coming from the top. Because anytime you get the lawyers involved, it has to come from corporate. See, the workers don't, and the management companies don't have the authority to do that unless they clear it through this board of panel they got in the corporate. See, they got a panel. This comes up and they describe it. They're telling me to cease and desist of recording, especially they name YouTube. With that threat they got, bring it. Because I got thousands of you out here as my witness that they're lying. So if you want to be a part of this organization and help other people out like I am, I need your support and I need your strength. I'm not asking for no money. God has got everything in control. And if this gets big enough, like I said to TikTok, where they want to put in commercials on my shit, the proceeds will go like Joseph did for the, burping, like Joseph did in Egypt for the Israelites, to take that money and store up resources so that we can have them. That's my donation. That's my will for God, that we look out and take care of one another. God is taking care of me. I'm not hungry. I'm not homeless. I have shelter. I have my basic needs. I'm comfortable. But my people aren't. And I'm standing in the line that if anybody else has gone through this, join me in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against this company and everybody else that's gone along with this, that has denied you the rights and comfort of your home, which the judge put in that court order I'm entitled to. And they're still not obeying the judge's court order. That's why I need your voice to force them. I got an army now, and the army is with you to force them to do the right thing. Get these homeless off the street, get these people with mental and physical disability a place to stay, and especially these veterans that fought for this country. I'm sorry. I thank you, veterans. I'm so sorry that y'all are laying out in the streets with no place to go. Hold it together, hold it together, hold it together, sister. Hold it together. The lives that were given, that were sacrificed, they come back here and they got no place to lay their head. And they got these hotels that they pay nightly for to sleep. They can't even get into them no more because the sanctuary people are there. This is how we honor our service people, Massachusetts. We elected you all. My mother was a long-time favorite of Elizabeth Warren. I liked Elizabeth Warren at one time. But when she ran for presidency, She said she was for police reform. Then why can't you access police accountability records to take these cops to court for murder, for rape, for any other thing out here, selling drugs, smoking drugs in the car while they were on duty, and taking overtime payments to get money? And they got the green light to do what they did to me by not even collecting false police report. And the Internal Revenue, I'm sorry, the Internal Affairs with the police, the commissioners, they said they thought the cops did a good job in my case. You mean you're promoting a detective that made up his own charge and said he did an excellent job? See the cover up here? And you can't go to the politicians and say that, because when I took it to the mayor's office, oh, it's an open case, I can't deal with it. I don't hear shit from the governor. But I heard from Elizabeth Warren and this McKenzie guy, whatever his name is, there's nothing we could do. Bitch, excuse me, no, forgive me for saying that. She's not that, I'm not going to label her that. That's just an impulse that I felt to say. You ran for presidency to stop this kind of stuff. That you could have picked this up because Mayor Marty Walsh signed in the legislature before he left the office to go to the White House for police sign a Pacific three-party in the mayor's office to guide and help people that are reporting this kind of conduct that is not being taken care of. And when I reported this conduct, they okayed it. They said, hey, we don't find nothing, get you a lawyer. But I know I can't get a lawyer because they can't get to the evidence to prove this case because the governor of Massachusetts has put a seal on it. This is corruption, y'all. 3 women running this country and they're milking it to line their pockets and get that funding from these billionaires and lining their pockets with it and putting up buildings and things for them under their business, under their name. And they're collecting the money off of these illegal immigrants, these illegal people, and ignoring the voters that voted them in office. Do not reelect any of these people. And I'm looking for Congress, the Democrats in Congress, to hold these Democrats in Massachusetts responsible for this. That's why I want this to go viral, because this needs to be talked about. Where is the dollars going? And who's benefiting from these dollars? And why this charitable organization and the government funding money to help the homeless and the housing and people from getting evicted, why isn't that money going towards the courts and preventing us from being thrown out in the street? Would you want the answers to this? I want the answers to this. Help me join in my fight. Justice for Beverly McCrowell, because this is going to be, I want this to go international. I named the states that these companies run up under: New York, Chicago. There's other ones that I looked it up on where they got their businesses set up. Any of those states, and anybody that's been feeling this or going through something similar to this, join me in fighting back to bring awareness to this company, to let them know this is America. I need all the blacks. I need all the whites. I need all the Latinos. I need all the Asians. I need everyone that's in these kind of housing or that's experienced this in any state that you're in, especially if it's a Democratic state, to know where the funds from the government is going, especially if you're a sanctuary state. That's why I want the president, Donald Trump, to get involved in this, because they're hiding these people and they're giving them the housing, and it's easy to find with ICE because they got to have a list of where they're putting these people. Sorry. I have sympathy for them. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Okay. There's a right way and the wrong thing. But you got to take care of home first. That's the main priority. You got to take care of home first. They can send billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to Israel and to Ukraine and all of these other places. And they're pissing other countries off. That what we're doing pisses Russia off. That what we're doing pisses China off. That what we're doing to Israel now against the Iran is pissing these people off so bad they got a hatred against us and they're going to come for us because of what they're doing. See, cause and effect. It's going to go somewhere. And the people are going to be the ones that have to pay for it. See, they got underground places where they can go where they're not affected, including an underground city. So the war comes to the streets, what they're predicting that it is. They want you to stand up here and fight this and become unalive, sacrifice your relatives and your family. When you need the United States is not a great country anymore. It's a country of division. It's a country that pits people against each other. So how you going to unite an army, air force, and all of that when you got division and racism and everything is stirring up and picking up? I wouldn't pick up a gun and fight these people coming over here. I want to put a sign on my door. I'm not like them. I'm not like them. So they bypass my house. This is going to be just like the Exodus. See, these things that they're doing to us, God is going to pay them back for it. And he's going to ask you to put a sign on your door so that when his hand moves through, like he did in Egypt, he's going to go get those people and they're going to suffer for it. But they won't have us in their army defending them for it. Why would we defend them and they're treating us like this? What is the purpose of giving your life for a country that allows this to happen to people that are not privileged, that are the ones, the backbone of making sure this country runs and functions right? Even with the farms, they're taking away the farms and they're giving it to South African people, and they want you to fight a war for them? Think about it. You ready to give up your family member? Are you ready to give up your son and daughter? Are you ready to give up your mother and father for this fight that don't even fuck this country, that don't even give a fuck about you? And I'm talking to you white supremacists out here. You're aiming your guns and your ammo, or should I say, you're arming yourself. Take out guns or whatever it is. I'm sorry. I don't want this ban. They're taking your complaints and you are going after this, and you're in this organization wanting to fight back for what you feel you're entitled to. We're not withholding your entitlement. We don't have shit to withhold your entitlement. So why are you listening to these lies that we're taking your jobs, that we're taking everything from you, when these motherfuckers up here sitting in this office is the ones that's doing it? We should be in solidarity with each other. We are the people. We are the people. So let me get my little comfortability here. I'm going to be back in a little while. I'm going to make my phone calls. I got to wait for my other phone to charge up. So now in between, I would say maybe 11 to 12. So especially catch y'all on your lunch break if you're on Eastern time. I'm going to make these phone calls and I'm going to let them know I'm my own lawyer and I'm representing myself. And I want to get down to the matter of who is saying this, because I'm going after the owner, because he's responsible for all of his employees. This falls on him. So therefore, I have to go after him and all the other organizations that can dispute anything that's in this letter, because he has slandered me with no proof, no evidence. And he had the awesome audacity to use his legal department to threaten me and cause me more physical damage. Yes, the attorney's letters, the one that's in that recording, that racial recording. Oh, I couldn't believe all the attorney letters. See, I'm coming in my full circle. But I'm coming with the strength of God behind me. And I'm coming with the truth of my speech and what's in my mouth. I just want you people to pay attention and watch and look. Because when your voice goes up that they need to stop this and investigate the state of Massachusetts, somebody's going to have to step in and do something. And the fact that they are breaking the law and using charitable, I don't know if they're breaking the law or not, let me say that. But if they're misusing the funds that's supposed to go to where it's supposed to go to, then Massachusetts, the presidency has every right to come in here with ICE and tear their hotels down and put the proper people that belong in there and put the people that are waiting on the housing list to get in there, to get them off the street and secure that people, American citizens, have proper housing. The money's for that. It's just not going there. So y'all rally with me. There's no marching, there's no nothing. Just a simple voice letting them know that you all are watching. And y'all want, at the Democratic Party, y'all want answers. Right to the mayor. Look, I'm a Democrat, and I've listened to this Justice for Beverly McLeod. And as a Democrat, what are you doing to make sure that the regular citizens in Massachusetts get those benefits that are awarding to them? And ask them for an answer. Put them on the spot. They need to be in the news and they need to be out here trying to defend this garbage because the buck stops somewhere. I want to know who many and how many hands are getting fed. We have a right to know what our government is doing. Every government, the governor is responsible, the mayor is responsible, and the legislator is responsible for this. Let's call the Democrats out, Republicans. Those of you black people that voted for Trump, because if the Democrats had been in charge right now, I would have no defense against them. If Washington was full of Democrats right now, everything I've gone through would have been in void. Been for nil. It's been for nil. That's why Malcolm X said, if you vote the Democrats, they're liars, they're pretenders, they're a traitor to you. Now, was his words in vain? Was his words in vain? I reposted that. He said, we vote for the Democrats over and over and over and over again. We're looking for relief. And we're still in the same situation we're in today. Not because of the resources they gave us, helped us. It's because we stood on our own strength and become millionaires and billionaires without them. And we're continuing to grow and improve our lives through hard work, through perseverance. And not because the government is giving us a handout, okay? Because they still got us thinking we're welfare recipients. Welfare was never meant for us, it was meant for the white people. And we have become basically non-dependents of these funds. Or if we start out with it, we get to a point of a level that we could say, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I can work and I can support my own family. But there's others out here that are using that system. Some of them have bypassed us because they're giving them loans and giving them like privileges to build up these companies, these brown people. And now they're so far behind on racial discrimination They're going back to the old stereotype of the 1950s and 60s. That label that they labeled us, we're number riders, street thugs, this, and that. And because America has blackballed us and labeled us like this, other people of nationalities can come over and pick up that garbage and slang it over our heads and say, this is how the United States see you. And I'm going to use this weapon against you to discredit you, get you thrown out, or whatever. Lord have mercy. If they think I'm going to let them get this and do this to me, they got another thing coming. I want to know where the lawyers are at. This is going to be, and I want it to be, and I know it's going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And this is, I need everybody else that's involved. I'm not going to stop with this. This is against these companies that I'm suing. Since I can't get a lawyer, I'm going to do my own background thing. And if I have to take it to court, and if I win in court, I want this in federal court, and I get that reward, I won't have to pay a lawyer a goddamn dime. Hey, I'm offering you an open opportunity. If you get the balls, give me a call. Thank you very much for your time. I will see you later. Thank you, you too. Watch for me today because I'm making these phone calls. I'm on my own lawyer right now, and I want to get to the bottom of this. And I already filed one police report, but now I got to file a police report against this Mr. Miller guy. Make sure I got his name correct because I'm going to file another police report because he is the one. Now looking at these letters, it says they represent the owner. That's an important word. So if the owner is suggesting these lawyers send me this, then the owner is responsible. So now, therefore, I have to file a criminal charge against the community builders and the Peabody properties, and I'm doing it on camera, and it's going to be recorded because I can record the police, and I'm going to ask for where is the detective that's supposed to come in here. So I'm going to keep y'all informed. So y'all going to watch it full hand. Damn, we need to make this a series, don't we? All right, y'all have a blessed morning, and I'll be back later today if God's willing, and I know He is, because I got to put it out here. If you're doing God's work, can't no weapon formed against you prosper. That's why I'm not living in any fear with what I say, and I can boldly speak this out my mouth because I'm speaking truth. Truth don't need defending at all. Peace. Give yourself peace and rest. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you.